Okay, today I'm going to show you how to do beading with a shoebox. What you're going to need are a shoebox, some thin yarn, okay, a ruler, heavy duty scissors, some tape, and some 7mm pony beads. The first thing you're going to need to do is you are going to need to go online and create your pattern. Now, I use the one at Native Tech, and what they do is they have one set up for you that is 24 beads in width. I would highly suggest keeping it between 6 and 12. 24 becomes too unwieldy and is really hard to deal with. Okay? So once you've created your pattern, and it should have some symmetry to it, okay, then you're going to transfer that to your loom. So the first thing you need to do with your box is you need to make as many slits as you have width of your pony beads plus 1. Okay, so my pattern is going to be 7 beads in width, so I had to do 8 slits. Okay, and then you need to cut your yarn so that you have enough for your box, but there's some overhang, and it should really reach the table. If it's too short, while you're beading it, it's going to come loose, and it's just a disaster. Okay? So after that, then you need to cut one extra one that is 12 feet in length, and then you need a slit along the side, and you're going to attach it there. Okay, so you're going to have it attached there, and then at the end of it, if I can get this untangled. Okay. It's really helpful if you take a piece of tape and you're going to make it like a shoestring, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting your beads through. Just going to wrap it up like this. So it's like a shoestring. Okay? And then you're going to string your first string of beads according to your pattern. So I'm going to string up my beads. For my first row, need a white one, and a yellow, and another orange, and a red. Okay, so this is my first row. I'm going to pull it all the way through. It's a lot of yarn, but you're going to need it. So make sure you do the whole 12 feet. Okay? So once I've got it here, I'm going to slide it under my loom yarn. Pull it all the way through, all the way under. Okay? So I want you to see that it's under. Okay? So once it's under, I'm going to fold over, and then I have to, oops, I have to string it through each bead. Okay. So notice that I'm stringing it through each bead. I'm going to leave it a little bit loose right now. I can always tighten it later. If you do it too tight too quickly, then you start really having difficulty stringing your other beads. Okay? So I've got it like this. Notice that I have the bead between two of my loom strings. And so for the next one, it also has to be between the two loom strings as well. Okay, continuing on. One more. Okay. So I want you to notice that I've got each one in between each of the pair of strings. It's really loose right now, so what I want to do is I want to tighten it up a bit. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pull up a little bit here, and I'm going to pull down here. So that my beads should be one right next to each other. There shouldn't be big gaps in between them. And now I'm going to string up my next row. Okay. Which is going to be black, red, orange, yellow, orange, red, and black. Okay, so here we go. Pulling it through. Okay. And then I just repeat the procedure from the last row, where I'm going to pull it under, and go over and then string each individual one in between, in between each pair of loom yarns. I'm going to leave it a little loose because it'll make it easier for tightening later if I leave it a little loose now. And after you get done with the first couple of rows, it goes by really fast. But the first couple of rows are always the hardest because you want to get it nice and set and even. You know, it's like with anything. You get into a groove after a while. And again, I highly suggest using a full shoebox, one with a lid, because then you can use it as your storage area as well. When you don't have a lid, then you really don't have any place to put your beads, and then they go all over the place. It's a pain. Almost done with this row. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay. So it's all loose. The first thing I want to do is I want to push them up next to the previous row. Okay, see how it's all next to it? Then I'm going to tighten it up. First I'm going to pull up this way. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Hold on a second. And pull down this way. And squish it all next to it. Okay? No gaps. And that's the way you want it. You do not want to have any gaps at all. Okay? And so then after you finish working it that way, what will happen is you will end up with something like this. Okay, I want you to notice that it looks just like the pattern that I made on Native Tech, and that's your goal, is to make it look just like the pattern. And then when you're done with it, all you basically have to do is you take it off the loom and you knot the ends and you're done. And that's how you use a shoebox loom to do some Indian beading.